Communities across the OR Tambo region in the Eastern Cape are picking up the pieces after days of relentless storms left a trail of destruction. 2 people were injured, several homes damaged, and some roads washed away. Dozens of families have been forced into temporary shelters. Newzroom Afrika's Vumisa is in Mthatha and joins us live for more. Very good morning to you, Liyema. What seems to be the calm after the storm, there's a lot of picking up that many of those residents now need to do after the storms have hit that part of the Eastern Cape.
Yeah, absolutely, Katlego. Good morning to you. Of course, there's a lot of picking up that needs to be done, especially though considering that the very same people who have to pick up the pieces are those that have been left reeling and devastated following, of course, those extensive storms that caused major damage. Whilst we are still also monitoring the weather, of course, if you would have seen there on your screen, the clouds are starting to clear up, but it is quite unclear as to whether or not we can expect rain today. But at least the weather forecast is forecasting that weather will come a little bit later on. But where you find us right now precisely is at the Kwastwayo village, still here within the OR Tambo region, at a local community hall with those people that you would have seen are just some of the number of people that have been left displaced. We understand that from the past 2 days, those people stand at 109 families that have been left displaced, with some their homes having been completely gutted and destroyed from those heavy storms and heavy rainfall, according to some of those reports that we received from the district municipality. Some of them join us right now just to reflect on the plight of those devastating strong winds and those severe weather conditions, especially given the fact that they now have to temporarily be sheltered here at this community hall. Nkosi kakhulu sis Ayanda, imeko yenu injani? Ninamizi ngoku nihlala pha emawulweni?
Sihlala apha eholweni bhuti, asinayo kwanto, sicela uncedo. Sibaninzi kuxinene eholweni, akho kwancedo silufumanayo. Abantwana sihambe sibacelela emizini babasenayo indawo. So nje sicela kwanto urhulumente anosinceda ngayo. Asinangubo zokulala, yonke into imanzi, akho kwanto, sinezimpahla sizinxibileyo qha. Ukutya asinako ngoba kwadibana namanzi nodaka kwayinto. Asinanto nje, singabantu nje.
Mhlawumbi bakhona abantu bakamasipala bakhe bazi ukuzonibona uzosabela kule ngxaki yenu?
Hayi bhuti wam, abantu bebekhona izolo kuse kwabhaliswa kuthiwa kubhali, andiyazi babekubhaliselwa ntoni, honestly andiyazi, because bendibhizi ndithutha impahla. Xa ndisiva kuthiwa bazawuncedwa ngazo nto bazawuncedwa ngazo andiyazi, kodwa sikalifumana nangoku uncedo.
Okay, sisanele sobela umfanekiso ngqondweni, indlu yakho iye yonakala kanjani kwaye ukuzokuthika ngoku wena uziva njani futhi uzawukwazi ukubuyela emzini?
Kubuhlungu kakhulu tata ngehlobo ekwenzeke ngalo. Ndinebrother yam nomntwana nomama wayo, indlu iwele phezu kwabo. Besibonyula phantsi kwaloo ndlu kangangoba asinazo kwa ID, asinayo noyokuqala. Sizohlala kweli holo, besicimbi noba sizawuphiwa loo nto, asikatyi, asinakutya, akho kwanto sinayo, asikaphungi. Kukho abatya iipilisi, amaxhego namaxhegwazana esihleli nawo, abantu abagulayo azikwazi uba kungatyeka iipilisi kuba akukho luncedo. Asikamboni ke nokhansela wethu oko kwenzeke le nto. Simane silala sivuka sibopha, asikwazi ubasa, asinambane. Iintambo zombane zonke apha ezindleleni ziphantsi. Asiyazi ke noba mhlawumbi kungenzeka nabantwana bangafumana ukulimala. Sikuloo ngxaki ke tata. Enkosi.
All right, Nkosi kakhulu. Well, Katlego, those are just some of those residents that have been affected by these recent severe weather conditions. Of course, reiterating just the extent of the damage, particularly with their houses, saying that they have completely been destroyed and some, having to dig for their relatives and their family members in that rubble after their mud houses would have fallen on those family members. Meanwhile, they are, also mentioning that that the local authorities, as far as the councillors are concerned, have not touched base with them just to try and assess how they are doing. Matter of fact, in this very same hall, Katlego, the power outages have also affected it, making it very difficult then for these residents to be able to even have something to, cook, especially considering the fact that Sister Anela just mentioned that they were not able to salvage a lot of things because of the extent of the damage. Even their belongings have been destroyed, some blown away by those strong winds, including their IDs. Of course, as Ayanda mentioning that there are people that are sick as well, with elderly people as well in this very same community hall. But what is a stark reminder then in this particular incident, Katlego, is that they now have to live with the reality that they do not have homes. But not only that, but they also do not have any sense of hope, especially when it comes to relocation, because according to them, the local authorities have not, come to their rescue here, but they were just facilitating even their arrival and their stay by themselves at this particular community hall. So it still remains to be seen, really, as those officials from disaster management are continuing to be on the ground assessing the extent of the damage, whether or not they will be able then to have a quick turnaround time in terms of trying to respond to the needy and those that are displaced. Again, that still remains to be seen.
Well, it certainly is. I can't imagine what it's like for many of those families, all 109 of them, especially with children that also need to pick up and go to school tomorrow. But with no food, with no school uniform, it really is a cause for concern. That's Liyema Vumisa out in Mthatha giving us an update